Testing. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Please take your seats. We're going to get started in 2 minutes.
I think directionally what I'd like to do is try and help the city in terms of making sure we get some housing starts. We continue on with the good work that's been done on economic development, help market Casa Grande. Really want to see I-10 widen between Casa Grande and Phoenix. I think that's a critical economic development piece for our city. I took over, first meeting was December 5th. Had our second meeting last night, 19th. So I think it went a little smoother last night. I am originally from California, born and raised, and early on in my career after I graduated from college, I went to work for a large company called Anheuser-Busch. You may have heard of it. They make Budweiser beer. And we moved to Casa Grande, and it's been our home for the last almost 12 years exactly now.
Hello, I'm Craig McFarland, Mayor of the City of Casa Grande, and I'm here today with Paige to welcome you to the Mayor's Reading Club.
First of all, I want to thank the citizens of Casa Grande, because it's because of the citizens that we have this beautiful facility. Also, want to thank the Gilbert family for the donation of the land. Without them, that wouldn't be possible.
This is a great day for Casa Grande. The city, through our impact fees, used $8.6 million to renovate this park. So this is a brand new facility.
A lot has happened since the start of the pandemic. Indeed, there has been significant impact to most of our lives in different ways, and yet the state of our city remains strong.
Well, it's a super exciting time to be in Casa Grande. We have Lucid that wasn't even here a year ago. Now they have a 900,000 square foot facility that's open, and they're building cars. We just approved their phase 2 at planning and zoning, and that will begin starting next month. They're going to add 3 million square feet to that facility. Unbelievable game changer for the city of Casa Grande.
We will be opening a DMO here in Casa Grande. I still call it a CMO, but Larry says I can't. It's a DMO. You can love it, you can live it, you can save it, you can build it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes!
About 3 weeks ago, we got word that the federal government is going to give us a grant for $95 million so that will complete the financial portion of the widening. You should begin to see construction begin hopefully end of March.
Well, Casa Grande, we're out here today at Dave White Golf Course, at Dave White Park. We've got pickleball courts, basketball courts, handball courts. Really, I just want to say that the future is so bright in Casa Grande, you got to wear shades.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome of applause to our host, Mayor Craig McFarland.
All right, I want to know who did that voiceover. That's awesome. Of course, the computer went to sleep. All right, you have to add time back onto there. Listen, thank you everybody for being here, and good afternoon. Welcome to the milestones and monuments is what we're calling this meeting. It's the state of the city for the city of Casa Grande in 2024. So I am Craig McFarland. I'm the mayor of this wonderful city of Casa Grande, and your host today. And we're here to kind of celebrate everything that that's been going on for the last, 7 years. This will be my last State of the City, as I'm term limited, so I'll be leaving office in December. So it's kind of bittersweet for me to be here, but there's a lot that's gone on in the last few years, and so we're going to we got a little bit of a look back on that video that you saw. That was actually my first interview back in 2016? No, 17. I think the election was 16, right? So it was January 17, and just after my second meeting that I had conducted. So I think I've gotten grayer. Is that possible? I was gray when I started. I've got grayer? Grayer. No comment? Okay. So anyway, today it is being streamed live, today's presentation and get together here. And you can actually watch it after 3:30 today. If you really didn't get all the meat of it, you can watch it again or tell your friends. Sometime after 3:30, it'll be live streamed on our YouTube account. So today and coming up, we're going to be having each of the council members give us an update on our strategic plan. But what I'd like to kind of talk a little bit about and first do is some introductions. I know we have a lot of elected officials here. If you are an elected official, would you please stand up and be recognized? Oh, and Kent's in the back and Mila's in the back. There's seats up here, guys. All right. Do you want to stand? Okay. That's because you want to leave early. Okay, I'm calling you out. You got the mayor of Superior here, and our legal beagle from the county, Mr. Kent Volkmer is here also. So, and I know the mayor of Chandler is here somewhere. Mr. Hardicke, where are you, Kevin? Oh, there he is. Kevin, thank you for being here. And so, anyway, let's give them all a round of applause again, please. Also, we have the City of Casa Grande has a leadership academy. And I know that several of us have been through that Leadership Academy, and I know some of you have been through that Leadership Academy. We have, I think, our class from this year. There's several of you here, so please stand up if you're here. There you go. Thank you guys and girls for being here. So it's a great program if you haven't been through it. I'd also like to thank staff. Heather, you and your staff for putting this all together and all the other folks who've worked on this. So thank you guys publicly for all your hard work in helping the council put this together. We really appreciate it. And then last but not least, I need to make sure I introduce my wife. This is Nancy McFarland. Please stand, Nancy. And my daughter Kelly, and son-in-law Matt Harrington. So thank you guys for being here as well. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce some of the hardest working people that I know in the city of Casa Grande who, like me, love their community. First of all, Mayor Pro Tem Anthony Edwards and Council Member Matt Herman. Council Member Lisa Navarro Fitzgibbons. And Councilmember Donna McBride, and Councilmember Robert Huddleston, and last but not least, Councilmember Jeff Lavender. We gave him the big stool so that he could tower over the rest of them. Again, as I mentioned earlier, today's program is each of our council members giving us an update on the strategic plan. And first off, I'm going to kind of kick it off and talk a little bit about the demographics, a little bit on parks and trails, some look back on all the planning and the plans that we've put together and what that has looked like, and then I'll talk a little bit on water, homelessness, transit, and police, just to give you an update on some of those areas. First of all, the city of Casa Grande, we are estimating a population of around 72,000 now. If Paul was here, which I think he is here, he would argue with me that it might be 71. There he is over in the corner. So he and I argue all the time on whether these facts are or not. So just take what I tell you and don't have to listen to Paul. Anyway, population around 72,000. In 2023, we issued 850 single-family permits, and then we estimate probably in the next year or so it'll be 1,000 to 1,500. I think it'll be higher than it was this year because of the financial crush of financing houses. And then in 2023, we issued over 2,000 multifamily permits. That would be apartments and build-to-rent product. So all that being said, we've been averaging about 3,000 new residents over the last 4 years. And if you extrapolate that out to in the trend, and you extrapolate that out to about 20, probably 33, say 10 years, 9 years, our population will be around 95 to 100,000 people. So with that growth, obviously comes a lot of management and a lot of challenges. So I think we've tried to do that pretty well. I think we have a really good council. We've done a really good job, I think, at trying to manage our growth, and that's really the key. We put over $10 million into our park systems over the last few years, most of that in Carr McNatt and in Dave White, but we've touched almost every park in the city. In terms of our trails, we continue to try and build about 1 mile of trails a year. That's a little bit too slow for me, but we've got to find some money to kind of speed that up, because we have a complete trail system that's available. We just need to build it. It just takes money, right? And then just a little update on our police department as well. Those guys have really done a lot in the last couple of years. They've added license plate readers. We've included body-worn cameras now. And just to give you a little update on some of that data, we have 19 of the cameras up. There's going to be a total of 22. And if you've seen them, they're at intersections. They'll have a little solar panel on them, and then there's a camera on it. And what those do is they read license plates. That's all they read. And it's attached to a national database. So if somebody in Missouri stole a child and they knew the license plate and they drove through Casa Grande, we would know they were here. So it's a great system. They had in 2023, we arrested, I think, 125 people for stolen vehicles and for other offenses. They had 156,000 on the body cameras. They have 156,000 videos on their body cameras. 156,000, that's individual videos, and that's not the time, that's actual videos. So you can imagine the challenge with us trying to review all those videos. So just suffice it to say that we're using AI today, and using the AI actually allows us to analyze that data and see if there's something that we should take a look at. So the police department has really done a lot in the last few years in terms of safety and trying to help keep our community safe and have accountability as well. So in the last few years, there's several documents that we use in terms of planning. There's an economic development strategic plan. That was approved in April of 2018. There's this strategic plan, easy for me to say, the strategic plan, which we adopted originally in June of 2018, and then again we updated it in July of 2020, and updated again this in 2022, in July of 2022. So that strategic plan gets updated every couple of years. And then the general plan, which was adopted by you as the voters, was adopted in May of 2021. So when we use that general plan then to build the strategic plan. And so that's kind of what we're talking about today in terms of what are those strategic plans that we've done. Now, the airport master plan we just approved last night, or no, Monday night this past March 4th. And then I skipped one here, but the community services master plan was approved this last year in July. So all these are plans that your council uses and our staff uses then to develop plans and their strategies moving forward. So let's talk a little bit about water. We could go down a rabbit hole with water, but I just really want everybody to understand that we have water, okay? So the city of Casa Grande has water. Arizona Water Company is our water provider, but we need to manage it better. We need conservation. So with the help of Arizona Water, we've rolled out the program called Save It. And that Save It program, we've actually worked with the schools and done some programming with them. They also have the online social media presence with regard to the Save It program. We need to reuse our water. So as bad as that might sound, at some point in time, the water is precious, and we can refine it back to pure water. So at some point in time, that will begin to be used. We're using it for irrigation today, but in the end, it will be a vital benefit for our community as we grow. And then lastly, we need to find new sources of water. So those are kind of the four pillars, the four legs on the stool in terms of what your water resource committee is working on today. And then a little bit on homelessness. With the help of Donna and Lisa, these two ladies were the two that came to me and really kind of pressed me and said, you know, Mayor, we need to do something. And so we decided to call it the Mayor's Roundtable. It was the Roundtable on Homelessness. And we gathered all the Faith Alliance, and we gathered all of the social workers and all the folks who were working independently at the time on homelessness, where, you know, somebody was feeding them, somebody was giving them water, somebody was giving them blankets. And so we said, no, let's all work together so we know what we're giving them, and we can kind of concentrate and try and help them and get them off the street. So that's what we did, and today, this last year, it kind of morphed into now what we call CG Helps. And CG Helps is also a resource center that we have in Peart Park. So it made sense that we would work all together on this project, and then from there, they've developed a program that we actually kind of stole from Tempe and from the Valley called iHelp. And the iHelp program is a temporary shelter that we use our Faith Alliance partners, the churches, and they volunteer their sanctuary to house our homeless overnight. So they get a chance for a shower, a meal, and then also we sign them up for social worker help and kind of walk them through the process of trying to get them off the street. So in a nutshell, that's what we're working on, that's what your council members are working on, and that's what several of us in the community are working on. And then we stood up this year our transit system, the CG Links. And so October, I believe, was when it really took off. And we had our 10,000th rider already. So it is a dial-a-ride service, so it's an on-call service. You call it up. In fact, I even saw young people using it the other day, which shocked the hell out of me. Of course, I get shocked all the time. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were repeating a Gomer Pyle statement. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And I said, how old are you? She said 28. I go, how the hell do you know who Gomer Pyle is? He says, it's on TikTok. Wow, you never cease to amaze me. Social media. All right. So anyway, CG Links has been an amazing success, and Deb Bruner, she's here. I know I saw her somewhere in here, but she has been a big part of getting that going. And so if you get a chance, use it. It does come here. Actually, it comes to the rec center, but it's primarily in our core. And as we kind of develop it, we're going to see where we need to take it. And so we got a little more time to get under our belt and kind of figure out what to do next. So anyway, that's kind of my first part, and what I'd like to do now is kind of call up my fellow council members and let them dive a little more into the strategic plan. I'd like to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Anthony Edwards, talk a little bit about some of our major community enhancement projects, including our water reclamation facility upgrade, our courts and relief sewer project. He's got all the exciting stuff. And the West Area Wastewater Project. Anthony?
Taking care of business. We're so thankful for each of you on today of being here. Thankful to our mayor and to all of our council members, and to each and every one of you, we thank you for being here. Taking care of business is a song. I'll be covering 3 different areas: the water reclamation facility, as well as the courts and relief sewer project, and the waste area for our west side, the project that has been going on as well. When it comes to our water reclamation facility, upgrades were needed. We upgraded and we also expanded it. And it was needed because we have a lot of things that are moving, going forward in our city, from our growth to the businesses that are going up in our city. And so the upgrades will increase the treatment capabilities of our facility. Our facility right now is 12 million. It's going to raise it up to 18 million gallons per day. Updates to the existing filter as well as the pump infrastructure will improve plant efficiency and also reduce maintenance costs over time, which makes us competitive and helps keeps sewer costs down for all of our residents. An important fact that I need to mention is that we cannot update the rest of the city system if we cannot treat the sewer water. The upgrades and the improvements will also help with the odor mitigation. The investment here to this facility is right at $40 million. That's a lot.
It's your money.
That is all our money. Now, the courts and relief sewer project. The courts and relief sewer project is designed to address the demand for increased sewer capacity along the Courtson Road alignment. The current sewer system is nearly to capacity, and so it's needed that we're making sure we invest into new systems going out towards the east side from our water facility. A top priority in the master sewer plan of the courts and relief sewer project is a pivotal for sustaining the growth that we are already seeing and is going to see. We're no longer that small little city, Casa Grande. Now, I was born and raised here. So this area all was cotton fields. So as you know, we are growing, but we have to be prepared for that growth, whether that's for our residents as well as for our businesses. So this is priority to us. And by doing this, we're adding 7.5 million gallons per day. That's key. The sewer force main will commence at the Hennis Road alignment, travel along Courtson Road, back to our water treatment plant off of Courtson Road out in the West Valley, or the city there. So as we continue to grow, this project will provide sewer utilities that are available for future development along the Courtson Road corridor, as well as south of Courtson Road all the way to our city limits. The investment here is right at $8 million. And then our last one, the West Area Wastewater Project. Here is a fact note. Fact note. You talked about facts? Facts. Fact. 40% of our infrastructure budget is dedicated to reclaimed water projects. 40%. The West Area Wastewater Project will provide additional sewer utility capabilities to the western industrial areas by creating a system that can transport over 10 million gallons per day to the water reclamation facility. So you see why it was so important for us to do the upgrades and the improvement and expansion of our water facility. Because there is a need, not just out on the west side, which we're doing the project, but also on the east side of town. And with the residents coming in, we need to make sure that we have everything in place to benefit our residents that are moving here, as well as us that are here, and also the businesses and the industries that are coming in. Now, as you're going to see in this time-lapse video here, this is out on the west side there, and it utilizes the city's existing treated Class A+ effluent as a resource by creating an effluent reuse pipeline that can be used by our industries out there in that area, for those that are there and for those to come. But this does not touch or even mess with our regular water source, our groundwater. These lines can be used by industrial companies like Kohler for cooling towers, for landscape, and for any other industrial process that need may arise or come. But we as a city are prepared for that growth, and we're prepared for the industries to come. The project was designed for ease of connectability for our industry companies, that when they get here, we don't have to wait to put in lines. We're ready. We want you to come. And so, but we have to be prepared people for the timeline of people coming here and businesses coming here. So you can see that when it comes to the city of Casa Grande, the water reclamation facility, and all of the infrastructures that has been put in place, we are taking care of business. And our current necessities are being met as we prepare for our future. Take care of business.
Taking care of business. Thank you, Anthony. Next, we've got Councilman Matt Herman. He's going to give us a little update on all things related to the tourism office. Matt?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for coming today. I got one of the best subjects, the Destination Marketing Organization, or Tourism Office, as we had it. And while I'm having a good time today, I want you guys to know I take my job, my commitment very seriously to the city, but I like to have fun too, and there will be tacos involved in this, I promise you. So we're going to talk about something I've been involved with for the past few years very intimately, the Destination Marketing Organization and Tourism Office. It's a partnership with the city, the Casa Grande Chamber of Commerce, the Arizona Office of Tourism. The Tourism Board is tasked with marketing Casa Grande near and far as a premier destination not only for visitors, but knowledgeable workers, investment in technology, innovation, and serving as a catalyst for economic activity and growth. It's not just for fun, but it's for taking care of business too. And just to make sure that people experience Casa Grande. And I need to thank Mayor Craig McFarland. He's been a huge visionary and proponent of this tourism office. When he was running for office, I met him at his house, and he and the Make It Better group had come up with this idea to have this organization. He had billboards, tourism, events, you name it. He had plans, and we got it done. He's so dedicated to tourism that he waited till the end of his term to make sure that the I-10 would be funded, just so more people can come to Casa Grande and experience our tourism. Yep. How did we get here? It was decided to move forward with this organization. A lot of pieces had to fall into place. Where were we going to house the DMO? How are we going to pay for the DMO? And who would run it? So for years, the Chamber of Commerce was designated as the Visitor Information Center of Casa Grande. So it made a lot of sense to leverage that relationship with the AOT and expand the tourism office and the DMO. About this time, the Chamber hired a new director, in Renee Luzon-Ben, and we kind of told her, said, yeah, there'll be a little tourism aspect to this job, so it'll go fine, just go smoothly with everything else. That's worked out pretty well. So in 2019, we went around soliciting support from local hotels and operators to supporting a 3% increase in our bed tax to fund the DMO. We were successful in garnering that support and moving forward. What better way to pay for this than the visitors themselves that are visiting pay to get them here? So it helps our marketing efforts, and they pay for it. Now we had to pitch it to the community, the council, and enact this tax to be paid by our visitors. So a presentation was made to the council explaining under the Chamber of Commerce and their board of directors would be a separate tourism board where we have hotel owners, the mayor, the city PIO office, representatives from the chamber, the RV park industry, Main Street, advertising and marketing, and our tourism and chamber directors. So we're getting excited. On January 6, 2020, Renee, the chamber director, gave this powerful presentation to the city, and we were ready to get this started. What better time to start a tourism office than the beginning of 2020? Well, what could go wrong, right? So fast forward to March 21st, 2022, when everything's getting back right, and the city council held the first public hearing on the bed tax and later enacted it to get us funded and moving forward. So armed with our vision of marketing Casa Grande as a destination for visitors and even our own residents, we're following our strategic plan, operating with a small staff at the chamber and a yearly budget of about $450,000 to promote Experience Casa Grande. We partner with the Arizona Office of Tourism and have leveraged our money to receive over $100,000 in matching grants for various marketing campaigns. We've made big strides promoting our city with the proximity to many of the state's major attractions, our sunny location and beautiful weather, uncrowded, calm, peaceful, small town atmosphere, wide open spaces, 17 miles of trails so far, some of the nation's best Southwest cuisine, tacos, RV resorts and camping, our historic downtown, and of course just the finest people on the face of the planet right here in town. In the future, we're hoping to move into promoting our existing agricultural tourism and industrial tourism, like our own How It's Made with food, fiber, and milk production. How cool would it be to tour the cactus mine, see how copper comes out of the ground, it's made into these batteries and wire that goes into these electronics that make the cars of tomorrow right here at Lucid. That'd be a great tour for people to experience. So now we're partnering with local organizations like Main Street to financially support and promote the annual street fair, help maintain the Neon Sign Park, and helping to sponsor the Rotary Club's annual Oktoberfest. Our marketing started with our stamp program with the Love It, Live It, Park It, Hike It, and Passport style stamps that we use in all of our marketing efforts. Now we expanded into print publications with the AOT grants and are featured in regional and national publications with the reach of over 400,000 different distribution points. We have information available on racks in airports and visitor centers around the nation advertising our town. One of our biggest moves was the billboard advertising, as you can see behind me. We started in the state of Arizona marketing people from Flagstaff coming into the city on the major interstates and then attracting more local visitors. And then we moved into a national campaign focusing on the upper Midwest. And we actually have billboards during snowstorms that show just how nice it is in Casa Grande. When it's snowing, it says that Casa Grande is 75 degrees right now. So invite people to experience Casa Grande and come visit. There was a dynamic partnership formed with Blossom Digital Media to launch our Experience Casa Grande website. You see, I keep saying that here. Build it in. Along with Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. We have over 600,000 impressions on Facebook, 200,000 on Snapchat, 1,000 TikTok followers, and 2 viral videos so far. Our website boasts 575,000 organic impressions and 39,000 video views. People are really wanting to experience Casa Grande. All during this, as we didn't have enough to do, someone came to us about standing up a film office where we leverage our state tax incentives for filmmakers to come showcase our city and our beautiful amenities and commercial and feature films. We were approached by Hollywood producer Mark Headley, who encouraged us to go down this road, and he got us on a call with Matthew Earl Jones, the state film office director. That is James's brother, but Matthew Earl Jones, not James. And we have landed and been host to a few commercial shoots and one independent feature film called Modern Folklore that will be released in the fall. Now let's talk about tacos, right?
Tacos.
Who doesn't love tacos? While promoting our particularly delicious local cuisine, we thought it'd be great to have a taco trail to showcase our wonderful restaurants in town and get people together to break bread. People can get a paper or digital taco passport and visit our local restaurants to enjoy tacos, taco pizza, nachos, quesadillas, and pancake tacos. If you collect all 10 stamps, you can get a free official Taco Trail t-shirt. Yep, the jacket's all mine, and this shirt and jacket were not this tight before I ventured down that taco trail. Let me tell you. One of the largest tasks that we had in our tourism office was to create a new signature event in addition to promoting all the other exciting events we had. So we thought, what do we have a lot of? What are we known for? What does everybody love? And once again, we came back to everybody. Tacos! So let's talk about the inaugural Taco Fest in Casa Grande. This event was created, planned and funded through lots of hard work, dedication of the Chamber and Tourism Office staff, the Tourism Board members, and 520 events. So on Saturday, March 30th, less than a month away, we're hosting the inaugural Taco Fest at Dave White Park, because apparently first annual isn't really a thing. You have to start with inaugural, I found out. It will be a culinary and cultural adventure for the whole family. There will be entertainment, salsa, margaritas, and of course, tacos. We'll have a fun-filled day with local mariachi music, games, booths, food, and fireworks. We've been able to present the Arizona-based international touring band, Roger Klein and the Peacemakers, who were my walk-up music, by the way. And I've seen this band over 30 times live, at least 30 times. And I'm excited they're coming here. And people that know me are surprised that it wasn't even my idea to hire them. It was a sponsorship with Arizona Snore and Copper and Cactus Mine. So we're going to have them entertain us, bring fans from around the state and country to bring them to Casa Grande and listen to music that goes perfect with tacos and margaritas. You will not want to miss this event. We're looking for a huge local turnout as well. Tickets are just $10 for pre-sale. And a little taco told me that a few lucky people today may walk away with free tickets to the event. So keep an eye out for that. None of this would be possible without our partnership with the City of Casa Grande, Arizona Office of Tourism, and many private sector sponsorships for the Taco Fest. This tourism office is inviting and promoting our city, which is steeped in history, rich in culture, and offers endless opportunities for exploration, not only for visitors, but for our own residents as well. These efforts provide a solid base to further our economic development efforts and opportunities that will pay huge dividends in the very near future. Now, I got to thank Craig McFarland again. It's his last stay of the city. So, even though he's from California, he's still okay in my book as someone from Casa Grande. And he's the best mayor I've worked with over the last 2 years. So he cares about our budget. I mean, where else could you get a guy, a full-time employee who travels the state at his own expense, promotes and fights for our city and all of this on a salary that works out to about $4.35 an hour for him. He's a huge proponent of Casa Grande. I'm still getting him to learn how to say it properly. But he's a seasoned veteran in marketing, and so it's a passion of him. He's did it well for a lot of years, and he'll tell you he did. But honestly, he has made the state of the city an exciting free community event. And he's always included his fellow council members in it so we can share wonderful experiences. And, he wouldn't be mayor today. He was going to buy an RV, and thanks to my lack of closing skills and bad salesmanship, he didn't retire and take his RV, so he got to be mayor for the past 8 years. But I hear you're retiring again, so, if you want to reach out, I'm still there. So, Craig, I got a little gift for you. You can probably guess
Tacos.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's your very own taco hat. But again, it's been a great partnership with everybody, and a lot of people to get this off the ground over the last 5 years. So it's going to be a great showcase to our town, promote our economic development, and just be a lot of fun. So thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you guys all at our Taco Fest.
Thank you, Matt. You have to be a really confident man to be wearing a jacket like that. And a taco hat like this. What do we have?
Tacos.
All right. Tacos. Taco Grande. There we go. So next, we have Lisa Fitzgibbons, Councilwoman Lisa Fitzgibbons. She's going to be here and explain the findings of the city and the Casa Grande housing analysis, and what our current and future housing needs are. So, Lisa?
Okay, we have to get serious now, Matt. No more fun. No, no, I don't want that. I was worried we were all going to have to wear those, but maybe we will be. No, again, thank you everyone for coming. Of course, this is a little bit more, serious, but it's a topic that is critical, and we're all facing it. It's exciting to see some of our neighboring communities in Chandler and Superior, because you guys are facing the housing needs just as much as we are. So, I'm going to go ahead and kind of give a little bit of report on the housing needs for both our current and future residents, how many we'll need, the various types that we'll need, and what we're doing here in the city of Casa Grande. Our current population is estimated, well, the number I got, Mayor, was 70,000, so I don't know. Yeah, close, estimated, I guess, right, Paul? As at about 70,000 people due to our economic development success, and it's continuing to grow daily. If the current population continues to build, it's going to be right around 90,000 by 2030, which is just a few short years away. It's so hard to believe because I, like you, am from here, and when I moved here in 1974, 50 years ago, it was a very, very small community. So it's exciting to see everything that has happened and the changes. So in order to accommodate these new residents, we need to provide a significant amount of new housing. However, due to the changes in the economy, as we all know, with high mortgage interest rates and escalating home costs, many of these new residents will not be able to purchase a home, but will need alternative type housing. We understand that today we need to provide a variety of housing choices for all income levels, generations, and household demographics. To better understand our housing needs, the council asked our staff to prepare an analysis that would examine, the questions: what are the housing needs of our current and future residents? How many dwellings are needed? And what types of housing products will meet the needs of our current and future residents? So the housing study provided some very interesting information for us. So we found that in 2023, and the mayor touched on this a little bit earlier, in 2023, the building permits that were issued were over 2,300 dwelling units, which likely was the highest number of dwelling units permitted in any year in any history of our city. Historically, the vast number of residential building permits have been for traditional single-family homes that are intended to be occupied by homeowners. However, in 2023, you'll see the graph here, the mix of dwelling units that were permitted were very different. We break down the number here: 697, or 30%, were single-family homes. 976, or 42%, were for apartment units. 551, or 24%, were for build-to-rent homes, and 89, or 4%, were for manufactured homes. This shift in the types of new dwelling units that are being constructed are likely due to a number of factors, including the fact that virtually no apartments have been constructed in Casa Grande for the past 10 years. This has resulted in virtually no apartments being available to rent. The new build-to-rent housing type is being introduced into the community as an alternative to both apartment living and home ownership. The low supply of new residential subdivisions due to the limitation of the certificates of assured water is also a reason for the shift. And, of course, the high mortgage interest rates and increased price of new homes is causing that as well. Although we continue to see the construction of build-to-rents and apartments, the level of construction will likely diminish as the new developments take some time to be completed and fully rented. So as we look forward, we believe that our housing mix will settle into a ratio that meets the long-term needs of our community. This mix should, at this time, include about 60% of single-family homes, 15% apartments, 15% manufactured homes, and 10% build-to-rents. Our housing study does indicate that we do have adequate land available and properly zoned to accommodate this new housing for the foreseeable future. So we just have to get more and more people from Chandler coming down here to Casa Grande. Send them down, Mayor. So we do need to continue to focus our efforts in providing affordable housing and attainable housing as well. We're making progress, as you can see here, to achieve this objective. Today, 3 of our new apartment complexes are currently under construction and are financed through the housing tax credits, under which will be rented to low to moderate income residents, and the rents will be more affordable than market rates. One of the new apartment developments about to start will utilize a modular construction technique that will allow them to be constructed more quickly with less cost while maintaining a high level of quality. And that's this building there, or the one on the previous. So Mary T's, if you're all, it's right down the street here, is proposing an expansion to provide 77 additional senior housing units, 44 of which will be incorporated into a mixed-use building that has commercial services on the ground floor. And you can see that in this slide here. So we're also evaluating our zoning code. There's a lot of discussion on alternative types of housing. So we're looking at zoning for the construction of accessory dwelling units in some of our single-family zone properties, which will allow the creation of small cottage-type structures that can be rented for 1 to 2 person occupancy. This will be viable for affordable housing for seniors, single moms, and young adults. And the construction of multi-generational housing, which will also allow extended families to live together and enjoy separate living and kitchen areas. The construction of tiny homes, there's been a lot of discussion, and Mayor, you have been all over the tiny home discussion. So I know we are continuing to move forward here, will be appropriate for smaller infill lots. And then finally, the placement of modular homes on individual lots would be less expensive than traditional stick-built homes as a home ownership option. So as we make future decisions, and probably a lot of you follow all of the discussions all over Facebook, the newspaper, our council meetings, you can see that we are really trying to address all of these needs in our community. We must embrace the fact that residents of our new housing developments want to be our neighbors and contribute their time and resources to making our community even better. So as we move forward in meeting the housing needs of our current and future residents, we need to be aware that of the growing and changing population requires a growing and changing stock of homes. So you're going to see in the next couple months that we are continuing to focus here in this city on these issues, and we will have a couple study sessions coming up very soon. So those of you that are following and are interested, please attend our study sessions so you can see how we are strategically addressing this focus area. So that's it. So thanks again.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I will tell you that all the meetings that I've been to, state meetings, the last couple of weeks, one was the Housing Commission, Commission, and then yesterday, ULI Trends Day, and the entire topic of everyone there is affordable housing, homelessness, and water. Those are the top 3 subjects that are discussed. So very pertinent and good information. Thank you, Lisa. I'm remiss at not identifying and recognizing our Youth Commission. So before I forget, guys, stand up. This group of young people are some excellent ambassadors for us. They're actually going to Washington, D.C. here soon, or several of you are, right? You haven't gone yet? Okay, Saturday. They're leaving Saturday, so they're going to be representing us at the National League of Cities, so representing the city of Casa Grande. So again, congratulations. So next is we have up is Donna McBride, our council member, Donna McBride. She's up next to give us an update on our fight on Blight and introduce some of our community members who've actually taken this on themselves personally, and they've taken on the challenge. And then she's also going to discuss a little bit of our growing public art program, which you saw some out in the parking lot. So thank you.
Good afternoon. I am so happy to be here. You know, Craig talked about what I'm going to talk about, but I kind of take the analogy that I'm going to be talking to you about the Beauty and the Beast, if you remember that movie. So I'm going to get the Beast out of the way right now, and we're going to talk about Blight. When we talk about Blight, what is that? And if you look around town, you can see abandoned buildings, abandoned homes, you can see the overgrown weeds, you can see the abandoned cars in parking lots. That is blight in our community. We don't want blight in Casa Grande. And especially this time of the year, we all know that when you drive down the road and you see all those weeds, you're like, what is the city doing about those? I swear I'm going out and picking some of them myself. So we all have that issue. You know, when we talk about blight, code enforcement with the city of Casa Grande had over 2,300 code enforcement cases last year. 2,300. The good news about that is that 80% of those were considered blight. And 64% of the community, the people, the businesses, they took care of it themselves. To those people, thank you, because they were being responsible. We all know that we have people in our community that are just not able to take care of their property anymore. And I'm not talking businesses, I'm really talking about our senior citizens, people with challenges. And so it's been encouraging to find people in our community that is willing to help make those changes and help people. You know, our strategic plan with the council, we really talked about blight. And as the slide shows is that, you know, we wanted to allocate additional resources, and we have. We wanted to make our community image better, and we have. Do we have a ways to go? Absolutely. But one of the things we recognize is that we need help doing that. We have 3 code enforcement officers that help with that. Do we need more? Absolutely, and that's where you all come in. We are going to come together to try to combat that. I will tell you that Priscilla, Byron, and Jerry, who are our officers, do an amazing job. And it's not one and done type things where they go out and they cite somebody and then they leave and it gets done. Sometimes it takes multiple times to go out there, talking with people, helping with resources. These 3 are mediators, they are facilitators, and they solve problems. And I know some of them are here today, and so thank you for those 3 people that work every day to make blight go away in our community. When we're talking about blight, we're talking about quality of life. And we're not just talking about the property values, we're not talking about economic crime, we're talking about pride, our quality of life in Casa Grande. And I'm not sure if you know that we have a clean and lean campaign here in Casa Grande. We have budgeted $100,000 a year for the past 6 years specifically for that, specifically to go out to the 12% of our people that are not complying. And we're taking care of that, and we're putting liens. Should we have to do that as a community? Absolutely not. But we are doing that. We also have the See, Click, Fix that you can go on our website, you can put it on your phone, you can report it and let us know. You are coming together to be the eyes and the ears of our community. We cannot do it alone. Those 3 people and our city staff cannot go through 72,000 people's homes to make sure it's done. And if we want our city to be something we can be proud of, we have to come together to do that. I will tell you that if you look at the pictures on the screen, you'll see a before and after. Almost 75,000 people have used that application to let us know. This is one of those. And you can tell how bad it was before, and you can see what it looks like after. That was not something that was done in a day. That was not something that code enforcement was able to do by themselves. It took code enforcement, it took public works, and it took our police department multiple times because of illegal activity. We have a responsibility, and we have to work with other agencies when things like this happen, and we are serious about it. Just because we cannot tell you about some of the things that are going on doesn't mean it's not happening. There is a process, and does that process take too long? Yes, it does. But we have a process that we ask you to go by as citizens. We have to go by it as well. We have to make sure that we follow procedures and policies and laws. And so we ask that when you come together to help us with that, that you understand that we have our own needs and things that we have to take care of. As I mentioned, we cannot do it alone, and that's where community engagement comes in. We have number of people in our community that work day in and day out as staff. And I will tell you, no offense to Superior or Chandler, I feel we have some of the best staff in this state, and we are so lucky to have people that are dedicated, that love this community as much as the 7 of us do. And so when I think about, yes, clap. We have a couple different success stories that I want to highlight. And we have, if I can just raise a hand, I think I see them over here, Kim and Mike Harper, if you can just kind of raise your hand. The Harpers are originally from Michigan. They're originally from Michigan, and I would bet just about this time of the year, they're here because of our weather. But I will tell you that when they came into our town, they were not here to see the litter that they saw. They were not happy with the litter that was going on around our community. They did not just complain. They jumped into action. They took control of their community, their neighborhood, and they've started a campaign called Clean Up Casa Grande. 2 individuals that are not lifelong residents that came here because they wanted to be in Casa Grande, and they saw a problem and they decided that they were going to help find a solution. They've even got a Facebook page, people, so you know they're serious. So if you have a chance, please make sure that you go to their Facebook page, encourage your own neighbors and your own family to help them. Thank you for what you're doing. We appreciate that. Now, something else. Think about somebody in our community that can pull together 300 people on a Saturday morning after a 2-day rain, so that means lots of mud, in our community do a cleanup. Anybody that knows Scott McEwen, give a raise, Scott. Anybody that knows Scott McEwen knows that he's the man to get it done, and he did. Scott has been involved with a number of activities in our community, including our day of service each September. What do these people have in common? What do these 3 individuals, and we have many, many more. What do they have in common? They have it starts with me attitude. And we all need to have that. And we all need to be proud of our community. And it's not because I put that trash there, it's because I want our community to look good. We have a number of people that do that. We have a number of activities that you can see on the screen that we have coming up. So this is where you come together and you help us bring this together. A couple things I want to highlight. Right at the end of the month, we have the Clean and Beautiful campaign. Whether you have a family, whether you have a neighbor, whether you have a civic group, please consider coming out and helping. We've got code enforcement drop-off. The Youth Commission was mentioned. I cannot go without highlighting this group of young people. I am so proud of the work they do every day, but they have always been involved with the Day of Shredding in Casa Grande. And I believe Mrs. Owie Cooper is here, who actually started the Day of Shredding as a commission member, and I believe she was maybe in 7th grade, and it was a vision of a young person to say, you know, let's take care of this, let's make sure that we have safety in our community. And today the Youth Commission does that, and it actually became a fundraiser, which it didn't intend to be, but they do things in our community with the money raised from that. So when I say that I'm proud of them, it's they are taking the action. It is starting with them, and they are the leaders that are making things happen. And if they can do it, I think that we can all do it. So it's your chance to get engaged in that as well. So we've talked about the ugly, the beast. Let me talk about some beauty. I'm not talking about you, Matt. Sorry. We love your work, you know. All right, so public art. How does it benefit Casa Grande? What does art do to really benefit us? It talks about cultural enrichment. It talks about community engagement. It talks about economic impact. We talk about revitalization. It talks about quality of life. And we are so rich in Casa Grande when it comes to this. The arts in Casa Grande is alive and well because of partnerships. We have partnerships like Arizona Public Service, our Community Services Department, our Arts and Cultural Commission. Cannot say enough about this group of volunteers that work with the city every month to come up with ideas and strategies to bring beauty to Casa Grande in ways that promote public engagement. We have our schools, and we certainly have local artists with so much talent that they donate their time and efforts to make Casa Grande look better. And I know that we have a number of those folks here with us today. If you drive through town, you will see evidence of this. You will see the art boxes, thanks to APS. If you go to the local skate park, now I can tell you, I don't skate. Lisa and I were down there, they tried to get us down in that hole, and I knew if I got down, I wouldn't get back up. But if you go out there, take a look, because you will find what local students came together with local artists. Not only did they talk about the concept, they designed it, and then they went and they actually made it happen. And it is a beautiful piece of artwork. And not only did they do it, but they owned it and they take care of it. You will find kids out there sweeping at the skate park to make sure it's taken care of. That's what art does in our community. I will tell you that we even have, and it's on display, some people called it crazy at first, we have a traveling garbage truck gallery. Now, I just got back from New Zealand, and I kept looking at their garbage trucks, and nobody had what we have. If you look at the garbage trucks, and I know that you are probably like me, when you hear that garbage truck coming down your road, you run out to put it out there before they get there. Take a chance, stop and look and see if you can see some of the galleries that we have on our garbage trucks. How unique is that? That is Casa Grande. We have come together to support local artists in so many different ways, and we have a lot to be proud of. We also have our Hispanic Heritage Month. In mid-September to mid-October, you're going to have the opportunity to be engaged in a number of different ways to celebrate our cultures. Dance, art, music. There's so many opportunities, and they have everything on our website. You know, they say social media can be a bear, but in our case, there's so much on our website, and please take advantage and go, because all of these programs we talk about, you know, in Casa Grande and the things that we have. We've got some upcoming activities. You can see we have a plein air. It's a competition for those people who love to paint. It's both for adults and young people. Young people are actually free. There's no entry fee. And then we have the third phase of the APS murals for the box murals. So those two things are coming up toward the end of the month. So get your paintbrushes out. I know that that's not one of my expertise, but I will tell you that there's nothing better than driving down Casa Grande and going into Old Town Casa Grande and looking at people on the sidewalk, you know, with their paintbrushes and painting one of our historic buildings and some of the things, or City Hall. It's so amazing to see people come together to be proud of what they have. And again, it brings people together, and that's what Casa Grande is all about. So as I finish up, I would be remiss to not be serious and say that I am paying my utmost respect to Mayor Craig McFarland, not just for the work that he's done in 2023, but for the 7.5 years he's been in office. This man has been filled with passion, commitment, and pride of Casa Grande. Mayor, we thank you, and I thank you.
I was expecting more of a roast. No? Oh, that's coming. All right. Thank you, Donna. That's some great information as well. So now I'd like to introduce Councilmember Huddleston, who will inform you on the status of Fire Station 503 and our recently granted ambulance certificate of necessity. Bob?
I was waiting to hear what song they picked for me. I thought, I don't know, I thought for sure it was going to be AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or something, but that's probably more appropriate. So I'm here to talk about things that are going on in the fire department. And I'm very happy to do that. Those of you that know me know that my history, my passion is public safety. And I'm so proud to be able to talk about the department and the men and women that make that department. But first, I want you to imagine, kind of get a mood on, of your worst day ever. Imagine that you or somebody you love, maybe their house is on fire, maybe they're having a medical emergency, maybe they've been involved in a car crash, and you grab a phone and you dial 911. I don't know if we all know what our expectations are at that time, but one is for sure, you don't want anything to go wrong. You want the system to work like clockwork, and you want help for you and your family immediately. Well, the men and women of the fire department think about that every day. They plan for it, they train for it, they prepare for it. It's on their mind, I suspect, when they're at home too, of what have we got, how does it work, and what do we need to make that seamless, to make that flawless. Two of the things that are going on right now is results of that mindset. They are thinking about their level of calls for service right now, that increasing population that we've been talking about, and they do not want to fall behind the curve. They do not want anything to go wrong, because they know lives are at stake, and so they can't afford to make a mistake. My notes for this was given to me, and it's entitled Talking Points for Huddleston. So I'm going to read through that, and they are important. We have two big projects going on right now. One is the construction of Station 503, and this is a replacement. We did have a Station 503, if you can call it that. It was slapped together, Chief, 20 years ago, and you can imagine if you used some scraps you had around the yard and you built a playhouse out in the backyard, you probably wouldn't expect it to last very long. But I think we did. As a city, we thought, well, that's called Station 503. I think we can count on that. And we couldn't. When Chief Keene came into his new position as chief, I think that was one of the first things he said is we have to. We don't have a choice. We have to do something about 503. And it was falling apart. The floors were caving in. There was mice and snakes under the foundation. It was no place to house anybody, especially your first responders. So mayor and council got involved, and it took us longer than we had hoped for, but it got funded, and it's at the location of Rodeo and Pinal. You can see it coming out of the ground right now. So I would encourage you to drive by there and take a look. I'm going to read my talking points. There's a lot of information in here. Currently, the fire department is staffed by 4 engine companies to cover the entire city. All the fire engines have at least 2 advanced life support paramedics and 2 emergency medical technicians. Casa Grande follows national guidelines by providing 4-person staffing on all firefighting apparatus. And that's one thing about the fire department. They don't call them fire trucks. They're apparatus. So if I say that again, that's what we're talking about. In its continued commitment to safety and the public's well-being, the mayor and city council recognized the need for growth in the fire department by allocating the funds to build a brand-new, modern, state-of-the-art fire station at the corner of Rodeo and Pinal. This will be Fire Station 503. The fire station is being constructed to house up to 10 firefighters, and keep in mind those numbers because that is 2 teams, 2 engine companies that will be housed there or can be housed there. per shift, which is 24 hours, so basically 2 companies and an ambulance. This increased capacity will allow the city the flexibility to add a second crew. The strategic location was chosen to provide excellent response times to the north as well as the south side of the city. It is a 15,000 square foot facility with 4 apparatus bays and a separate ambulance bay. The station has all the modern amenities for a safe National Fire Protection Association compliant facility. The fire station has also followed all of the same rules any business or developer would have to follow in the city, such as half of the road improvements that are necessary on Rodeo Road and handicap accessible sidewalks around the facility and along Pinal. The total budget was approved at $13.4 million and has a projected completion date of October 24th. And when that comes around, please keep your eyes and ears open. I'm sure there will be an open house. I'm sure there'll be a tour. And I think you're going to see what will arguably be the most modern, well-equipped fire station in the state, at least for now. And I think we're going to see a time-lapsed video of the collection of parts that built the previous Fire Station 3. They were primarily constructed of some temporary classrooms that came off of the high school property. They were free, they were available, and the city took them and built a fire station around them. Obviously, we're not in that market this time around, so it should be very nice. The other project that we have going on is what's known as the Certificate of Necessity, or CON. And this is a permission and an authority that is issued by the Arizona Department of Health Services that allow an entity, a geographic area, to handle the ambulance service. Previously, that was all controlled by AMR here in town. And the city, for a long time, through the fire department's observations, had observed that there were some shortfalls in having a private company perform that service. We didn't have any direct control over them other than to make recommendations and suggestions, but it became apparent that was not sufficient, and that we believed, both the fire department and the city council, that the city, with very little cost, as a matter of fact, depending on what figures you look at, it can be cost neutral because there is a fee for ambulance service. And the fire department has pledged every commitment to make that fee as reasonable as possible. And quite often, it's only through your insurance, which you would pay anyway through the ambulance service. So we have headed down that road. The Certificate of Necessity was awarded to the fire department September 12th of 23 through the Arizona Department of Health. And we have started the process of obtaining ambulances for that service. Our personnel is already trained for that through paramedics and EMTs, but there is some logistics and some equipment that are going to be necessary before we fully assume that. I touched on the CON, and I'll just start reading my notes. CON now enables the city of Casa Grande to provide ambulance transport services within the incorporated city limits and bill for services provided per the fee schedule set by Department of Health Services. The CON covers the geographic area inside the boundaries of the entire city limits and any future annexations. Before this, while the Casa Grande Fire Department did occasionally transport patients to the hospital, the service was primarily provided by a private ambulance transport company. The decision was rendered after an extensive legal proceeding which lasted almost 3 years. The Casa Grande Fire Department felt that this was important to the community of Casa Grande so that a better and more expedient emergency medical transport service could be established. The crux of the CON argument was that allowing Casa Grande Fire to transport more regularly and to bill for the services provided would inject more advanced life support ambulances dedicated specifically to the city of Casa Grande. This will undoubtedly provide a significant benefit to city residents and provide a better quality of life and safety. The CON would provide an array of important benefits: better coverage, better response times, more reliable ALS, advanced life services level of transport, better dispatch, better continuity of care between the first responders and emergency transport to Banner Casa Grande Hospital Emergency Room. The Casa Grande Fire Department has been moving forward in the implementation of the CON for the last 6 months. The city is currently operating 2 ambulances within the city limits. We anticipate 2 additional ambulances to be delivered in the next 30 to 60 days. The city has implemented a new ambulance billing contract and last week received its first payment to the city. This is significant in that the whole system had to be built from the ground up. And I would emphasize one thing that was not in the notes is that this is a transition. It won't happen overnight. And for a while, you will see Casa Grande Casa Grande Fire Department ambulance service and still AMR, which remains in the area. They will continue to assist Casa Grande, and they will continue to serve the unincorporated areas around Casa Grande. So with that, I am very proud of our fire department, especially proud of that man right there, Chief Keene, and I would ask you to give them a round of applause.
All right, thank you, Bob. Finally, we've got Council Member Lavender. He's going to talk to us about how our school curriculum is aligned with our local industry's workforce needs and existing partners and programs in our city.
Well, first of all, I want to do some thank yous. I want to thank Matt Herman. 2 years ago, we wore the same jacket to this event, and we got called twins. Thank you, Matt, for making sure today we were not twins. Also, I want to thank the staff here for putting Anthony Edwards to talk about sewer, our most animated speaker talking about that. And also thank you for making me the last speaker of the day as everybody's ready to go. And so I just want to share some general thoughts about education. Right now in our community, we have 2 school districts, the elementary district, the high school district. Collaboration between the 2 districts is very strong. I want to recognize my wife's favorite superintendent, the elementary superintendent, Dr. Adam Leckie over there. We also have some community members that are willing to serve on our school boards for free. We have our president of the school board, Mr. Wilkie, back there. We have a board member, Kelly Harrington, here. And then from the elementary district, we have Mike Cruz, who on March 23rd for Dancing to the Stars will be Magic Mike. So, and we're giving away some tickets to that, aren't we? All right, well, we all look forward to Magic Mike that night. We're in education right now, we're focusing on a lot of things, but our main focus is moving on from COVID-19. Moving on from the learning loss, the social isolation of our students, the trauma that they've all been through, and their well-being, their mental well-being moving forward. So we are certainly focusing on that because we have seen the impact that COVID has had on our students. And so we're certainly moving on from that. Our focus right now, and I know it's Dr. Leckie's focus as well, is that all of our students will graduate from high school, college, and or career ready. And we want our students to be thriving. And when we talk about thriving, it really comes down to 3 things. Our students have a spark or a dream, going to the Dream On message. They have an individual that can develop that spark within them, and they have a voice. And certainly these students sitting in front of me that are going to Washington, D.C. next week have a voice, and they'll be sharing that as well. I just want to share with all of you the educational shortage is real. So if any of you want to come out of retirement or do a career change, we are looking for educators. And to continue to do that, we're going to need to continue to offer competitive salaries and benefits. So if you voted in favor of the override for both of the districts, we certainly thank you. We've got to provide the learning support system for our teachers. We have to look at our educators' well-being as our teachers are struggling through the most difficult time there has been in education to teach with all that's going on. And one of the things we're also going to be looking at, the mayor talked about tiny houses. We're actually looking at building some tiny houses on some of our properties that the school owns too, as an enticement to get teachers to come our way. Every day, my number one responsibility as superintendent, I know Dr. Leckie, is school safety. And so some of the things we're looking at is school safety is securing our campuses to make sure they're secure as possible. We've put vape detectors into the high schools, and I don't know, you put them into your, no, not to the middle schools yet. With next year, we are going to be hiring together a director of school safety for both districts that will be working together. We're also looking at weapon detection systems. Maricopa High School has recently put them on our campus. We do practice drills. We have Raptor Alert, where every staff member can activate an all-call for help at any time. And then we can hook into Mutual Link, which we can hook into the Casa Grande Police, Casa Grande Fire in the event of an emergency. Also, another thing the district is currently doing in protection of our children is we are filing a lawsuit against the social media companies for the harm they are doing to children. And so I would encourage you all to take a look at that and what social media companies and how they are impacting the well-being of our students. The elementary district has a lot of innovation right now, but the one we wanted to hire today is their Center for Online Learning that is going on at the Evergreen campus. These students this year investigated different types of soap. They designed soap, they created soap, they marketed the soap, and then they sold it at a sale they had on a Saturday. And Dr. Leckie, through his team, is creating a destination district for our elementary district. Our high school district as well is doing different innovations. Our job is our students are going to be your future employees. So a lot of career development. Our PACE program is certainly focusing on career development. We also have CTE programs. We have 10 at Union, 7 at Casa Grande Vista that involved our Vista Grande that involved 1,523 students in our CTE programs. We partnership with Cabot, which has 13 programs, 205 students. We also partner with Central Arizona College that offers a welding program in which we have 6 students in there. And recently, we've had a run on some state championships. In 2019, our Spirit Line won the state championship. In 2021, our football team won the state championship. This year, our marching band won the state championship. And Drake, why don't you stand up and turn around for everybody? This past weekend at the DECA State Conference, Drake was the state champion for business development design. So, unlike the mayor, I'm not termed out. But as we move forward to the district, I know my attention needs to be towards that school district. And so I'm not going to wear the taco hat, but I want to thank all of you for your support over these last 4 years. But I will not be seeking re-election, so I can focus my efforts in working with Dr. Leckie and making sure we have a quality educational program that all students will graduate college and career ready. So thank you for all your support.
Thank you, Jeff. That's some important information in terms of our education system and how we're working together with our industry to develop young talent for all of the business that we're going to be bringing into the state. And let me just talk a little bit about that. And part of the problem is when you tell politicians they have 5 to 6 minutes to talk, it doesn't work. So I'm going to apologize for myself and for us for keeping you here a little longer than we had anticipated. But But there's some good information there, so I hope you've learned from it, and I have a little bit more to share with you. Besides that, we have some gifts at the end, so you want to stick around. That's the hook. So what sets us apart? What sets the city of Casa Grande apart from the rest of the state? And that is that we are on I-10, we are on I-8, we are on the main line of the Union Pacific. Phoenix is not. And we have also coming I-11. So we are in the hub of the state of Arizona. And that is why we are developing with the industry that we have. That, and we have great people, and we have a great city. We have access to Phoenix, we have access to Tucson, and we have access to the California markets. So those are some of the primary drivers. And so what is coming that we need to make sure we're ready for? I-10 widening. We finally have $1.1 billion to widen I-10. And thank you to my co-sponsor over here for the I-10 Coalition, Mr. Kevin Hardicke. He is the mayor of Chandler. He and I worked together on this, working with the tribe, working with our ADOT, working with our other agencies to get that done. It's been a 7-year project to get this done. So I won't belabor that too much more, but construction should begin this year. And so we'll be all in pain for about 3 to 4 years, but hopefully it'll be worth it. We've widened Thornton Road. If you haven't been down Thornton, it's beautiful. It's out the piece that's out in front of Lucid, but the county is now completing their piece, which is from Peters Road down to I-8. We've got work being done and plans to complete Peters Road, Burris Road, Ethington, Clayton Road, which are all out in that industrial area. Right now, they're just a chip seal, but they will be a more permanent road. And then the bond was passed by you all. You all voted for it, and that bond will complete and widen completely from Pinal Avenue to I-10 McCartney Road. So right around the high school will be improved. On top of that, we're going to widen 5-lane road from Rodeo all the way up to McCartney today on Treckle Road. So that should improve that entire interchange right there at the high school. Eventually taking Treckle all the way up to Val Vista. So all these road improvements, all this infrastructure is so critical. I know Anthony talked about our wastewater. That doesn't sound very glamorous, but without it, we don't have growth. Without roads, we don't have growth. And so all of this stuff is the reason why we're seeing all this retail, that and the people coming to Casa Grande. We've got the new Rallies, the Freddy's, Filiberto's, Starbucks, the Auto Mall. I know I saw Tom here, Tom Seiner, and the Seiner Group is going to be out at the mall. They're actually under construction today, and along with the Joneses. So we'll have a new auto mall out where the Sam's Club was. It's all under construction right now. We just opened a new cancer and blood center, so now you can get all your oncology work done here in Casa Grande. You don't have to go to Phoenix. So that's a huge, huge deal. Everything from MRIs to getting your laser treatments to everything you need from handling the cancer. Iron City Polaris, a brand new building that we built out on. Tim built it, Tim Robinson. And then the Marriott is still coming. Aldi's is back on the board. Sun Life is going to be, we need another grocery store. You can clap for that. Sun Life is building a new campus right next to Denny's. It's a 4-story medical campus. It'll be a combination training and medical facility. They will be breaking ground this year. And then you can clap for all the car washes we got. Your car should have no excuse for not being clean. All right, we just opened last week Absolute Construction's Design Center, an office complex on Florence. The Casa Grande Collective, which is a brand new restaurant and food truck location. I just ate last night, they have a soft opening for the Su Casa Grande Mexican restaurant, which is where the old Boston's was. If you get a chance, go in there and check it out. And then even down to the smallest entrepreneur, Rob's Red Rambles. It's a desert tour group. So I will tell you, over the last 2 months, I have been averaging 4 ribbon cuttings and or groundbreakings a week. So it's incredible. And I can't forget to mention Lucid. I know we have a representative from Lucid here, Magic Mike. That could be your new nickname, Mike. I can't wait to see this dance. Anyway, Lucid expansion, we just about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, we were at a groundbreaking thing, not a groundbreaking, but an unveiling of their new production line. It's actually an assembly line. It's 3 million square feet. I don't know if you know how big 3 million square feet is, but it's big. The original one was 900,000, the original 2 buildings. This is 1 building, and it's about 3 million. Plus they are adding a stamp plant and adding a second production facility for their Gravity, which is their new SUV. It will be under $80,000. So if you want to buy an F-150, there's nobody from Ford here, right? Jones isn't here, are they? Oh. Anyway, you could get an electric Lucid SUV for under $80,000, which now qualifies then for the tax refund. So just a side note. And anyway, they have had a tremendous impact on our community. Currently about around 2,500 employees, forecasted to increase that number. They continue to do well, and so we wish them well. And it's an exciting time for the city of Casa Grande. Just opened the Kohler plant. They have an occupancy permit now, or it's a TCO still, I think, but they are actually commissioning their machinery. They will have about 150 employees by this summer, and ultimately up to 400. That is a manufacturing facility and distribution center for the whole Southwest. So a big deal out there. TSMC suppliers. Taiwan Semiconductor, that's what TSMC stands for. I apologize for the acronym. But the Taiwan Semiconductor is in North Phoenix. It's a $40 billion project. They have suppliers. We have 6 of them here in Casa Grande. They primarily are chemical manufacturers, Air Products, CCPAZ, Canto, LCY, Solvay, and then also a company called NRS, which is a company that's right next to Kohler. If you drive out to Kohler, they're on the east or west side of Kohler, and they are building a transportation hub there where they're a logistics transportation company, and they specialize in transportation of chemicals. And so they will be the company that transports those chemicals up to TSMC up in Phoenix. We are also working with NRS to put together a truck route so that we can manage where those trucks go. Ecobat is doing their public outreach right now. If you haven't seen it, they are a lithium battery recycling facility that's being built. Opus, Confluence, and the KV Casa Grande, these are warehouse projects that are opening. In fact, the Opus building, I think, was open and did their kind of a grand opening event today. And they literally, it's like 650,000 square feet of space that's now available. I think a lot of it has already been rented or leased out, but there's more coming. Right Asphalt, Waste Management Transfer Station, that's an $8 million project that's out in our industrial park. And then Arizona Sonora Cactus and Ivanhoe Electric Copper, both copper mines are coming to Casa Grande. The Arizona Sonora and Cactus mine, from an economic standpoint, is the equivalent, when they start producing copper, which is scheduled in 2026, is the equivalent of a Super Bowl per year for the city of Casa Grande in terms of its economic impact. It's huge. And we have a second one coming. They're probably a couple years behind Arizona Sonoran. And on top of that, we have Procter & Gamble going to Coolidge. We have LG going out to Santan. All of these impact the county of Pinal County and impact us, the city of Casa Grande. If you put that all together, that's projection of 4,000 more jobs in the next 3 to 5 years. 4,000 jobs. And a capital investment of almost $7 billion. It's 6.987. So it's just massive. And that does not include the mines. That's just those lists of projects that I listed earlier. So if that doesn't make your head spin, I don't know what does or what will. And we have one more fun thing to do. We've got some surprise for everybody. We have 8 tickets to the Boys and Girls Club Sun Corridor Dancing for Our Stars, and we have 40 tickets to the Southwest Taco Fest. Do I need my hat? You got it. Wait, I've got hats. Oh, we have hats? Okay. So I want to ask everybody to look underneath your chair, because if there's a coupon under your chair and it looks like this, then come see me. Not this minute, because you've won a ticket to the March 23rd Dancing for Our Stars event. It's $125 per ticket, so it's a good deal. And if your ticket looks like the one Matt's holding up and the council has, then you've won tickets to the Taco Fest. So if you have that, please see them. So listen, I want to thank everybody for being here today. And I got to tell you, if it doesn't make your head spin, thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate it.